Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be ranking all 3 games published by Activision for the Sega Genesis. I hope you really enjoy these clickbait titles. I'm not lying though, am I? Every game we are going to be ranking published by Activision. See, I figured I'd get these shorter lists done, these ranking lists done, before I take on the massive task of ranking, these publishers that publish like 20, 30, 40 games for these different systems. So first up, from 1994, we have Pitfall, the Mayan Adventure. I had very low expectations for this going in. I absolutely adore the original Pitfall on the Atari. It's one of my favorite Atari games. I played it a lot when I was a kid. It holds a very special place in my heart. Lots of love and nostalgia there. I know that the Pitfall game on the NES is pretty terrible. It's been a long time since I've played it. I know I'm going to have to play it again one day for my Just the Worst series. I'm not looking forward to it, but I kind of expected something along those lines. I figured it was just Activision using one of their old IPs and just kind of ruining it. Luckily, that is not the case. I ended up really liking Pitfall the Mayan Adventure. It's got really great graphics with smooth, well-done animation. This animation is fantastic. This is some of the best animation I've ever seen on the Sega Genesis. This is really, really nice. The controls are pretty responsive. The animation doesn't get in the way of your movement the way that I was afraid it would. It feels really nice to play. So like the original game, it's very centered around timing and precision. Knowing when to jump and jumping in the right spot, that kind of thing. I really like the soundtrack. It's got this nice percussive soundtrack that really gives you a jungle vibe, if you will. It suits the action very, very well. One of the biggest problems I had with this game is that I got lost a lot. That's just something that happens to me even in real life. I just don't have the best sense of direction. And something nice that they added in here was when you get the little totems that serve as checkpoints, the totems will point in the direction that you're supposed to go. Even with that help, I still found myself getting lost a lot. I don't know if everyone will experience that, but for me personally, I got lost a lot in this game. There's also these spring snot things that you jump on, and they pull you down and whip you back up, and you're supposed to jump off of them to jump way higher. I don't really know. I should have looked up what they're actually supposed to represent, but I'll show some footage here. I had a really hard time with the timing of this, and this was pretty frustrating because, I did get better with it the more I played, but I never felt like I was quite 100% on the timing of how to get up these things. But besides that, it was a really awesome experience. I was blown away with the quality of this game. I did not think I was going to like this at all. The original Pitfall game, that's a lofty goal as far as trying to reach those heights. And it did a pretty good job of making a 16-bit Pitfall feeling game. This is one I'm definitely going to spend a lot more time with, and I'm really glad that I discovered. I'm going to rank Pitfall the Mayan Adventure a B. Up next, from 1994, we have Radical Rex. First off, I'm just going to say, even if I might not have always been the biggest fan of it when I was a kid, nowadays, going back and playing things from the 90s, when things have that radical 90s tude, it just takes me back to that time when everything had tude. And whereas I think I found it more annoying back then, now it's kind of nostalgic because we don't get a lot of that anymore. We need more tude in games. Publishers, where's all the tude? This is a game that I think has a lot of charm, mainly because that, like I said, that tude. He rides a skateboard. There's a lot of sassiness. He asked me, if when I sat there and I didn't press any buttons on the title screen, he asked me if I'm still there and tell me to push buttons. I will say that the graphics are kind of drab. I wish they were more bright and colorful. It does suit the setting of the game, but it just they're kind of boring. And skateboarding is not as fun as it should be. It's very easy to fall to your death or to miss a bunch of pickups, or it's just kind of hard to control, and it didn't really add that much to the gameplay. I would have rather not have skateboarded a lot of the times just because I was so afraid of like flying to my death. Now the music has a really cool like funk vibe kind of feel to it. A lot of cool like bass lines. I did groove to this music a good bit. I liked it. But all in all, Radical Rex is nothing really special. Pretty middle of the road, but I like the cut of his Radical 2 jib. I'm going to rate Radical Rex a C, but it's a very, high C. I couldn't quite justify going up to B because it is just like so middle of the road. I just really miss 90s toot sometimes. I don't know what's wrong with me. So yeah, Radical Rex, I'm gonna rate it as a C. And our last game from 1994 is Shanghai 2. I had no idea what to expect going into this, and it turns out it is a Mahjong solitaire game, which I didn't realize until a couple years ago when I got Clubhouse games on the Nintendo Switch. I like Mahjong solitaire games. It's fun. It's very relaxing. It's a good time sink, like just to relax and play and shut your mind off, This is a good style of game to just zone out, put on some music, and just play for like a long extended period of time. Just relax. The music in this game isn't bad, but it gets kind of repetitive. It just keeps going on and on and on. But it is cool. There are different graphical themes for tiles. Like you have like dinosaur tiles. There are flag tiles. There's a fantasy tile style that has like dragons and swords and stuff like that. And when you change the different graphical themes for the tiles, it also changes the music. So, you get tired of the first theme that has like the Asian sounding music and the more traditional characters on the tiles. You can switch to the dinosaur tiles and it has its own music. So I thought that was a really cool, nice touch. But there's really not a whole lot to say about this. It's Mahjong Solitaire. You either like Mahjong Solitaire or you don't. If you've never tried it, I'd recommend trying one out sometime. You might like it more than you think, just like I did when I discovered it in Clubhouse Games. I think this is a fun, chill time waster, and I think it's pretty good for what it is. I'm going to give Shanghai 2 a C. And there we go. All 3 games published by Activision for the Sega Genesis. Let me know what you think of my ranking. Let me know how you would rank these games. Let me know what publisher for the Sega Genesis you'd like me to rank next. I'm having a blast doing these videos. It's really cool getting to play all of these games, seeing what all these different companies released, and discovering things that either I've never heard of or I'd heard of and never played. I'm having a blast. Make sure to check out my other ranking videos. I want to thank everybody for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will see you next time.